They were my best friends growing up.
From Black Can.
I didn't want to leave the hotel. I was scared too.
Meanwhile, you bag, it smelled like straight horse booty, bro. That's crazy.
Hello there.
Welcome to Tabletop Topics. I'm your host, Jeff.
And of course, Jeff.
So, Jeff.
You forgot to say
Again. All right. Yeah. Let's roll that back again. Welcome to Tabletop Topics. I'm your host, Jeff.
And of course, Jeff.
Jeff. We have a returning guest.
Yes.
And a new face with us today.
Brand new special guest.
Would you like to introduce yourself today, sir?
Yes, I'm Pastor Scurry of the Tree of Life Ministry, 3609 Fairview, right there in the city of Harlem Lake. Amen. I'm the husband of Teresa Scurry, the first lady of.
That's her real name.
Amen. The Tree of Life.
Yeah, that's what's up.
That's fine. Jason, welcome back.
Welcome back.
How you been? How's everything been?
Good, busy, but good.
Everything's busy.
Mm-hmm.
Are you still working with Jeff?
I'm still at Publix, but he don't want me at grocery anymore.
Oh no.
I mean, you know.
Oh no, I heard they're booting everyone out now.
Yeah, half the customer service is gone.
things are closing down, so it must
Yeah.
be pretty different out there.
It is. It is.
Man. So,
The idea, because she brought this up to me.
Mhm.
So she told me that, would you like to, because she was listening to different podcasts, so
Mhm.
that was something new. Because she's like, because of us, like her coming on and all that stuff like that, she was listening to podcasts, and she's like, I talked to my husband. I said, would you like to be on a podcast? She said, yeah, he would. He's like, I'll be on one, but I don't want to start one. So I said, yeah. So I kind of got together with her, what was it, a month ago?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, about a month ago. And I said, set it up. Let us know when you're free, because I know that you guys' schedule are busy. And you were telling me, put your phone on. So. And you were telling me something, and she was telling me about he has a powerful testimony. And I'm like, yeah, we can come on here. We can have that discussion. We can listen, learn something new, hear a different perspective of it. Because everybody goes through struggles.
Yes.
And it's just how we navigate through them and get out of them. So I said, yeah, invite him, bring him on, and here we are today, and here he is.
all right.
Amen.
And I appreciate you for taking the time out of your day,
for
out of your busy day,
coming out here
to come here and have a conversation with us. Because again, too, when we bring people on, we like to have them resonate with different types of audiences, and for them to hear a different story or perspective from where you're coming from, or whoever it is that we invite on. It's very good, because it doesn't necessarily tell them you have to change how you think, but it gives you a different perception besides your reality. So it's awesome to hear different types of testimonies or conversations to start a conversation, because not a lot of people want to. So
That's what's up. Earlier, so before we started, we were having a conversation. This isn't your first time on the mic.
that's what I was surprised.
What's the story behind
He's
that?
like, I'm ready, DJ.
No, that's not my first time. I went on to videos with Mother Santiago when we got out of prison in 1997. Me and her son, Santiago, brother Santiago, and his mom used to take us on the radio on Saturdays, and we used to preach on the radios. And I tell you, it was very awesome, because every Saturday we have so many people tuning in. So many people tuning in.
Bleep
So
that part out, please.
we just So we just thank God
That's awesome.
for having the opportunity. And then down the line later, we came back onto the radio station again, as I was explaining to you earlier, what transpired there and caused the radio station to go down.
Right.
And so it's not new to me. And then I went over to Fort Pierce with one of my apostle friends named Apostle Wright in Fort Pierce, Florida. He go over the airways. He got a setup like this too. And I went over the airways in Fort Pierce with him as well. So I've been around the radio station, not regular, but periodically here and there.
You've done right.
Yeah, I did.
You've done that. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a familiar setting. It's nothing new.
Yeah, so it's nothing new.
Yeah.
And nothing to be scared, afraid, or shaky.
Shoot, maybe
Like-
we might have you on the team, man. You can come through.
Yeah,
help us
definitely.
out with some of this
Yeah,
tech.
definitely.
Because it gets crazy, especially like
When you're doing everything by yourself, it really is difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a lot of work. It is. It's not easy. Like
Yeah.
getting everything together, doing clips, putting the videos together, audio, cutting all that stuff like that. Like it was a year and a half of research for us, almost 2 years.
Yeah, we had
Wow.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
of-
had to
of
do a
trying-
lot of research,
Yeah.
prep. Yeah, and even now it's still a learning process where it's like finding sponsors and advertisement
Mhm.
and
And all that stuff.
distribution and all that.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, at some point you got to build a team.
Yeah,
Right.
You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? You got to build a team
Right.
because it's only gonna get harder from here.
yeah.
You know,
That's true.
that's fire. So are you originally from Florida?
Yes, I'm originally from Fort Miles.
Nice.
I was born in Augusta, Georgia, but my mom moved here in 1969. In 69, so I've been here ever since 69. I mean, excuse me, 63.
Okay.
1963. So I've been here ever since I was 3 years old.
Wow.
So I know this 4 miles like the back of my hand.
Okay. That's what's up.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So, judging about like now, everything's.
Yeah.
What's the biggest thing that you've realized changed since then?
When I came, it was just woods and dirt.
Oh yeah.
I seen the whole. I seen the whole.
You saying it like you were there.
Well, even when we showed up, the roads weren't even paved.
yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Right.
that's it.
The roads weren't even paved. It
Well,
was
see,
just.
when I showed
yeah.
up, there was dirt.
It was.
So when you go down the road, dust everywhere. You
Yeah.
car.
Jeez.
Yes. Yeah, so-
Wow.
I came here with number woods. All this, where y'all at?
There were no
where we are,
Daniels, none of that.
None of that. It was woods. I seen this thing made a transformation in the years that I've been here. Yeah.
Wow.
Even
wow,
from
wow.
theaters,
Right.
grocery stores,
Right.
you know, downtown. You know, I seen a transformation take place in the city of Fort Myers. It really have grown over the years that I've been here.
That's awesome.
Yes.
That's awesome. It's
Mm-hmm.
rare that I find a lot of people who are born and raised up here.
Yes.
Because like some people usually like they grow up here and then after high school they're gone.
They're
They
gone.
go.
Yeah, because the first question I get from everybody is, "Are you originally from Florida?" That's what I always get.
Right.
Because a lot of people, the state's mostly made up of New Jersey, New York, Ohio, Michigan.
Right. All the
So-
northern states.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. For sure. For sure. For sure.
But that's what mostly around Fort Miles, Mississippi, Carolina,
Mhm.
Alabama, Georgia. You know, that's what it in Fort Miles. What it consists of mostly people from that area, and then you start getting them migrate in from Miami,
Right.
Fort Lauderdale,
Mhm.
and different
Right.
places like that starting to come in.
especially
you know.
because it's getting way more expensive. out
Right.
there, too.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
getting
Exactly.
crazy out there.
Exactly.
Because you've been seeing a lot of people from Miami starting to flock
For sure.
down
Yes.
here, too. And you can tell too because they're
Yes.
driving those little 3-wheel cars out on the road. I'm like, bro, you only see that in Miami.
Yeah.
Now it's starting to come down here.
Oh, all them fancy cars.
Oh, the fancy
cars,
man,
yeah,
that's gonna
yeah,
be
definitely.
different.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
gonna be different. That's something to look forward to, like especially like knowing Southwest is about to be a metropolis. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Everything
it's
that
a,
they're
it's a
doing.
central hub. Yeah, and especially with Lehigh, like Lehigh's even growing itself. Like
Oh,
we're looking
yeah.
at the future plans for Lehigh. I mean,
How long have y'all been in Lehigh?
We've been here. May will be 2 years, but I lived here before for 12 years. When my boys were younger.
Okay.
okay.
Mhm.
Wow. Okay. So you already know what's going on. Out there.
Yes.
I ain't gotta ask you.
Yep,
all
South
that.
LA.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's good. That's what I'm telling everyone.
Yeah.
We're trying to coin the term South LA. We from
Mhm.
East LA.
I'm the new kid on the
And you're too late with the LA. My boys, back in the days, they already named
Yeah.
it
Oh,
LA.
LA. Oh,
LA,
word.
yeah.
Okay, there you go.
There you go. We just have
I'm
to
surprised they ain't like
officially
you know,
stamp it.
Yeah,
though.
that's what I'm
Right.
saying.
Yeah, we
Welcome
gotta
to
bring back
LA.
the terms like they're doing the high
Good
tops.
time.
Right.
Yeah.
That'd be fire. That'd be fire. So, here's the question that's on my mind. I don't know if it's on his mind.
Okay.
How did you two meet? What's the story behind this?
I'm gonna let her start.
Oh yeah.
I wish
You
we
don't
had a back in the day.
Oh yeah. The wind chimed up.
We'll add that to the soundboard next
Maybe
time.
she have a different view than what I had.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
No, Probably the same. It's about the same. It should be.
And after
because-
she's done, he's
Just
gonna.
remember,
he's
it's
gonna
your
be
truth,
like,
his truth, and then the truth. You know what I'm saying? So he got to touch base. He's like,
Yeah,
okay.
he's like,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, you go first, and then I'll see if they align.
He's like, I fill in the blank.
Is that how you think it happened?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I was working in a salon, a small salon in town, Fort Myers, right off of MLK,
Mhm.
and I had been there. I started there, I think, in September of 2012, and I met him the week of Mother's Day, that following year. And he had been coming in and out, you know, getting a haircut because there was a barber and 2 stylists in there, well, which we all did everything in there, like cut hair, eyelashes, pedicures, hairstyle, and we did it all in there. Well, he had been coming in there because the guy who was the owner of the shop, well, he was his best friend, one of his best friends, and that's how I came into the shop, because he sent for me, and I went up there, and then I started working and stuff, and he would come in periodically to get a haircut, and he would just speak to everyone. I never paid any attention to him until
He was
one.
probably there to see you. He's just not gonna say it. You know? He's like, it's skin, but you know, I need a
Yeah.
short trim right there. There's no hair, but he's like,
"Give that line
give
up."
my
Yeah.
scalp right here, please.
Yeah. Missing the piece, right?
You missed the spot. The edge is crooked. I need it fixed.
Oh
He
boy.
would usually come in on like Friday evenings. He'd just get off of work. Oh, well, I could tell he had just gotten off of work because he come in with work clothes, all dusty with cement and stuff all over him. But I never really paid attention to him because I wasn't interested in a relationship at the time. I had just recently gotten out of a mess. Yes, toxic, very toxic. And so I wasn't interested. I wasn't paying attention until one day I was doing one of my customers' hair, my client's hair, and there was this bishop came in, and they used to come every weekend. He and his wife would come up there and sell food. And this particular day, he walked past me. This was the other bishop. What's his name, Bishop? The one that was over on 41.
I know what you're talking about, but I can't get his name right now.
Okay. Well,
It'll come up later.
Yeah.
he walked past, and then he stopped, and he turned around. He was like, "Young lady," he was like, "keep doing what you're doing." He was like, "God is pleased with you, and you keep doing what you're doing, and he has that husband for you." So I'm like,
Who are you?
okay, I don't want no husband. I don't want nobody else from Fort Myers, because I made up in my mind I don't want another man from Fort Myers. I don't want another man from Florida, period. I'm done. So that was my promise, and I stuck to it. So then one day he came in, and he asked me, what was I doing with a guy like that? And I'm the type of woman that I should be with someone like him. And he was like, if I wasn't married, you would be my wife.
Smooth talking.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
Speak.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so so I'm like, okay. So he began to like minister to me and stuff. Made me cry a little bit, but I put on my big girl pants and I didn't let him see it. But because everything that he said, he was on point. He was literally like speaking to me about me, and he didn't even know me, and I didn't know him.
Oh, wow.
So that went on, that went past. So I began to question my cousin about him. I'm like, who is he? Because he came back in another time, like on a Saturday this time. And it was some weeks later. So I asked her, did she know him? And she was like, yeah, he divorced. So I'm like, well, who is she? Said he's a pastor. I said,
Jeez.
girl, I ain't
Oh,
finna
man.
I ain't finna play with God.
Oh.
Bishop Cunningham.
Yeah, Bishop Cunningham.
Yeah, okay.
There we go.
Yeah, that's the man.
Okay.
So
I thought about it.
to make a long story short, the next time he came in, he sat there in the chair, and there was this big long mirror. So I'm standing there, I'm doing my customer's hair, and then after she left, I'm just cleaning up and stuff. So he's on the phone talking, and I hear him talking, saying, well, what do you want for Mother's Day? He was like, well, I bought you a car last year, so what do you want? And I'm like, dang. He was like, well, you want to fly somewhere? What do you want to do? So I'm saying under my breath, you can fly me somewhere. So I'm like, well, you could buy me a car. I'm just
That's
saying little
right.
stuff under my breath.
Yeah.
So I never did say anything, never would approach him until his big mouth friend.
Okay. We all know that one.
Yep.
We all got one.
I got you, bro.
We all got one.
Exactly.
I got you.
Right. Right.
I'll do
We
it
all
for
got
you.
one.
So he gave him my number and told him that I said to call me.
Okay. There you go.
And he called me and we chit-chatted for some weeks. Or just chatting over the phone, kicking it, just talking.
This is before text message and social media.
Right. Exactly.
Right. That's what I'm saying. No, that's fact. You actually had to find the person,
Happy
call
emoji.
them.
Yep.
You had, boy, that was extra. No
Yellow book.
GPS.
Oh, I remember.
No GB. None of that.
Yellow
Yeah.
books.
None of that.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, so we went. He actually came. He was a real gentleman. Took me on my first date. And we just rode and talked. And that was good. But I was scared to death because I'm like, what do I talk about? This man is a pastor.
He's a pastor.
How do I date a pastor? I mean, what do we have to talk about?
There was no Google, too. How do I date a pastor? Siri, how do you date a pastor?
How you date a pastor?
Be angelic. Like.
Yeah.
So I'm scared to death. I'm sitting and quiet, and we just rode around, and he was talking to me. But I was already a Christian. I was saved.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to a former church, and but I just didn't know what to do, what to say, because
Yeah.
I'm like, this man is a pastor.
I can't just come out.
That's,
I-
that's,
right.
another, that's another level.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. A level that
It's not
I've
a regular
never-
man. It's a man of God. If I mess up, that's it.
That's it.
Yeah, so he was real gentle. I mean, real calm, real humble. The language was different,
Okay,
That's what's up. I mean, I knew he was already more mature and more settled. And he was just kind of like taking his time and everything. So I'm like, okay, I might be able to do this.
Okay.
I might be able to do this. So that's how it all started, and we began talking more, and then we would occasionally, like, he would have to go out of town. He was always on the road,
Busy.
traveling,
Yeah.
flying here and driving here to preach and everything. So he would always call me, hey, I got to go out of town. I'll be going for this such and such amount of days. I'll be going for a week or whatever. But I'll call you when I get
Sorry about
there.
that.
I'll call you when I get there to let you know that I made it safely and things like that. And that's how we met. That's how we began. And then, 2 years later?
Yeah, about 2 years
2
later.
years later,
2 years later.
we got married.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
amazing.
You've been
Yeah.
together ever since.
Yeah, ever since.
Okay.
And
Now,
So the moment of truth.
how much of that do you remember?
I can almost remember all of it.
All right.
Okay.
All right. We
Yeah.
just asked you.
Yeah,
We
that's
just asked you. That's good.
I'm
That's
telling you, that's the truth, because I used to come in the salon and get my hair cut on a Friday,
Mm-hmm.
and I used to see the young lady. I say, T. I say, who is that young lady there? And he say, oh, that's
Yeah.
they call her T. Her nickname,
good. Oh, okay.
her nickname was T. He say, well, that's T. I said, man, she's a nice looking young lady.
Hey.
Like that. See, I was in a broken relationship
Mhm.
on the verge.
Yeah.
It was
So
already
it was
out
going
the-
out the door.
yeah.
It's already going out
Yeah,
the door.
yeah.
So I say, So he said, that's T. I say, who a boyfriend is? Who a man is? He said, I'm gonna show you the guy when he come in the door. So when the guy came,
oh man,
so when the guy came and I seen his appearance and how he dressed and everything, I said, what's she doing with a guy like that?
She turned red.
I said, she need to be with a guy like me.
There
You know
go.
what I'm saying?
There you go.
So T said, well, that dude, he crazy about it. I said, okay. I said, man, she need to be with somebody like me. So one weekend I was at this shop, so I was sitting back in a chair, almost something like this, a rock. So I was talking to the ex, and I was saying, you know, I said, Mother's Day's coming up. And her booth was right next
right
to
there.
it.
That's
Yeah,
all you
yeah.
got. Yeah.
So I'm sitting in the chair like this, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I said, I bought you a car last year for Mother's Day. I said, wait, where did you want to go at now? Because we had just flew in from Las Vegas.
Mhm.
We had just flew in from Las Vegas, so I know she don't want to go to Las Vegas. And so I said, where you want to travel? What like that? And so I didn't know she was listening. But I was talking loud enough for her to listen.
Yeah, right.
So
she
I-
pick up.
I say I didn't know she was ear hustling. Right? Ear hustling. Ear hustling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So I'm just talking. So after that episode there, later on that night, so T say, my friend T said, hey man, I got something for you. But it was another dude in the shop had his eyes on her too.
Oh,
Right? He had his
man.
eyes on her, right?
Oh man.
So I say, that guy that like her. I said, but I ain't even worried about him. Right? I said, I'm not even worried about him.
Yeah.
Right? So when the night came, he said, I got something for you. So this guy that liked her was sticking real close to my buddy. He was close to him. I said, what's wrong with him, man? Any other time he'd be gone. What, he think you got something for me? I mean, he stayed there till we actually closed the shop. Everybody was gone. Nobody but me and my pastor friend was sitting in the yard. And he said, I said, well, it's time for me to go now. So when he slipped me the piece of paper, oh man, yeah, I couldn't wait. Boy, I got that piece of paper. I dialed it before I got in my car.
Yep.
He went to the paper
Yeah.
real quick.
I dialed it. As soon as I
What
got
my
in my
quarters?
car. I said, what are you doing? I said, my friend gave me your number. I said, what are you doing? She said, oh, I'm just sitting here. I said, yeah. I said, I said, that's nice. I said, I just thank God. You know, he gave me a number. I said, I just want to talk to you.
Yes,
And
sir.
so me and her started conversating, and you know, we started going to the restaurants and started taking us little rides and stuff, you know, and stuff. And that's how our relationship came together. And me and her already had said, I say, you pray and see as God got me for you.
Yeah.
And I'm going to pray and ask God as you for me.
Yes, sir.
Because one thing we ain't going to do, we ain't going to live in the fornication.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're going to either do it right or we're not going to
We're
do
not
it
gonna do
Yeah.
it at all.
like that. And so she said, you right. Now, in the process of me and her communicating and calling ourselves dating, we had some rough edges.
Yeah.
We rubbed a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
We rubbed a I said, no, you just go on about your business. And she said, no, you just go on about your business. I don't want to be caught up with a pastor. And I don't want to be caught up with you. We went through the little motions. You know,
Oh, yeah,
got you.
God had to fine tune us, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So after all that, you know, God made it good.
Yes, sir.
And so, you know, we getting ready to celebrate the 15th of this month, our ninth
Congratulations.
ninth year of being married.
That's awesome.
Unified as one.
That's awesome.
And so I just thank God because, like I say, you're a beautiful individual. You're a beautiful being. You came from me. You're my ribs. I'm not Adam, and you're not Eve, but you came from me.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, so that's how, you know.
That was smooth.
And I tell you,
Yeah,
we've been
okay.
selling. We've been selling real good in ministry and everything. You know, she came from a different. Well, it's the same ministry because it's holiness.
Yeah.
It's apostolic. We apostolic. So we came from the same background. But just like I tell them, I don't have a religious. I have a way of living, and that living holy, treating people right, doing good.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Reaching out to people. It's not about religious. It's about living right.
Yes.
And that's what it's all about.
Yes. Yes. If I could sum it up, that you said it perfectly.
Yeah.
You said it perfectly.
So my question is, what got you to that point? Like, how did you, where were you before, and how did you find God in that sense? Like,
You asking me or you asking
no,
me?
you
Okay.
yeah. She told me her story. Yeah, like where did you start, and how did you end up finding God in order to get you to where you were at?
Okay, how long do I have?
Oh,
Floor's yours,
we
brother.
can do part
Okay.
1 and part 2
Yeah,
if you want.
floor's
Okay.
yours, brother.
Number one, I want to go all the way back.
That's fine. Okay, that's fine.
I was one of the best running backs in Southwest Florida here in Fort Miles.
Okay.
I went to the school, North Fort Miles Senior High. Anybody watch this broadcast or the podcast or, you know, anybody watch it, they know that that's Scurry. He giving it to him. I was one of the best running backs here. I was a freshman in high school, and I had already had 3 scholarships to play college football.
Whoa.
I was one of the best running backs. I was like unstoppable, and I could name a few more guys come from freshman to varsity with me. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And I got out there, and what happened was that I was so good that I got the big head. And so when I got the big head, somebody introduced me to a little marijuana, and I started smoking marijuana. And so in the process of starting smoking marijuana lead to another step. And then that step lead to another step.
Yeah.
Till I start snorting cocaine. Okay? So now I'm forgetting about school. I'm focused on street.
On street, right.
I'm looking at all the jewelry. I'm looking at all the nice girls. I'm looking at all the nice cars. I'm looking at the materialistic things.
Yeah,
That's what I'm captivated over. I can't wait till I get out my mama's house. Ooh, and so the coach used to come and say, they call my nickname is Blue. He said, why are Blue missing practice? He used to come up on the avenue, what we call the streets, and get me off the street and take me to practice.
Tell them the name of the avenue.
Anderson Avenue. They call it AAU. Anderson Avenue University.
Oh,
That's the best college you could ever go to. AAU, Anderson Avenue University.
That's different. Oh man.
I'm telling you. And so I started there, and I messed around while I was in high school at 16 years of age. I ended up getting gunned down on the street with a sheet thrown over me, pronounced dead. At 16 years of age, I was in the 9th grade.
Wait, you died.
Yes, with a sheet thrown over me, laying on the street, amen, and pronounced dead. And it wasn't nothing but the grace of God, Yahweh, whatever name you give, it was by the grace of Him that I'm sitting here today talking to you guys.
That's crazy.
Yes, 16 years of age. Now, you figure I'll stop there, right?
Yeah.
But when them guys shot me down, I got cold. I got cold-hearted. That anybody say anything or do anything to me, I'm not going to lay on the ground anymore.
That's right.
They going to lay on the ground. So I had got cold-hearted. Just like the Bible said, the love of many going to wax cold. I had got cold. That I got in that street life, I started robbing. I started shooting guys. You know, I started taking guys in bushes and beating them, taking them back on the street and throwing them out in front of the club. Let a guy know that if you cross me, this is what's going to happen to you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. And I end up, 5 years later, my brothers, 5 years later, I end up in the Lee County Jail, 1984, for murder and armed robbery. And they was trying to give me the death penalty.
Damn.
Yes, I was 22 I was 22 years of age then. 5 years later, I was 21, but I turned 22. 5 years later, 16 got gunned down. 22, I'm fit to face the death penalty. But the grand jury said they didn't have enough evidence to give me that,
Get
to
the
announce,
conviction,
right? The conviction. So they dropped it down. When they dropped it down, I went to court. They said, Scurry, you're facing life in prison. I went to court, and when I went to court, they found me guilty. I wasn't to the store. I didn't have a gun. Only thing the dude I see the dude running down the street, I picked him up. I said, what have you done? He said, I robbed the store. I said, well, that's your business. But I had his car.
Damn.
You see what I'm saying?
Wrong place,
I said,
wrong
well,
time.
that's your business. So I got in the car. When I got to my destination, he was finna pull out. I told him, I said, no. I said, you want to get high? He said, yeah. So I said, come on, man. I said, I got cocaine, weed, money. I got everything. Only thing, we're going to go to a bootlegger and we're going to get some beer. And so we did that. And so we came back to the house. We sat down in the Florida area. So we sitting there and we just snoring. We just snoring. We just drinking. And you know, back then on the on the TV at 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock, that thing will come on, that little radar thing, and it just be going round and round. And we sitting there like we watching a movie, just laughing and carrying on, like we.
It's like you're on shrooms.
Yeah.
It's
like we watching a real episode.
right.
You know?
It's getting to the climax.
Yeah.
He's about to
man
do
was
it.
zoned in.
He's
boy.
about to do it.
Yeah, so we sitting there, we just laughing, and I'm talking about we just laughing, and we just started snoring, and the thing just going round, round and round. And so after a while, he jumped up and started hollering. Oh! So I jumped up and looked. I said, "Hey man, what's wrong with you?"
Touchdown.
Hey man, what's wrong with you? He said, I shot a man. I said, well. He said, at that store. I said, you got to get out of here, bro. Bro, you got to go. He said, oh, I can't drive. I'm nervous. Can you drive me to my girlfriend's house? I wasn't thinking I was on that dope. I drove into his girlfriend's house. When we walked into the door, in her door, she said, Blue, what happened? I said, this dude said he shot somebody. She said, what? She said, let me talk to him. So they went in the room. I sat on the little chair. And I had fell asleep. I was dead out when they came out. I had no passed out. So they woke me up. She said, I'm not taking you home. He's going to have to take you back. So we went back. But make a long story short, we went back to the house, to my house. And there, understand, the girl went to her neighbors and asked her neighbors, should she call the police on him? The neighbor told her, say, well, go and call and see if they investigate a shooting. And so she did, and she hung up. So now they're trying to
Trace,
right?
It's easy now, but
right.
Yeah.
But he was on his way back to the house, to her house, right? So she went to another neighbor. Other neighbors say, well, you better tell, they're going to get you for harvesting a fugitive. You know what I'm saying? So she waited till he went to sleep, and she called the police and told him that he was on our floor. They came and got him. So he came downtown, and they had got me from coming from my mom's house. They got me. So I'm just sitting up in there. I know I ain't did nothing. So I'm not even worrying.
Yeah. Right.
So they had him on the other side. You could see in, but you can't see out. He see me, but I can't see him. So they got him, the ex, and his girlfriend, and another girl. They on the other side looking at me. So I'm sitting. And so the man said, Mr. Scurry, he's on the other side of that window. And he said, you blue? I said, yeah, I told you I'm blue. I'm blue. I don't got nothing to do with no murder nor robbery, man. Right. So why I'm here? Right. Y'all either handcuff me, take me to jail, or y'all let me go. Right. Simple. Like that. So they say, well, you under arrest. I said, for what? Murder nor robbery. We don't believe he did it, Scurry. We believe you did it.
What?
That's what the police told me.
Yo.
That's how it
The
works.
police told me because I guess because of my criminal
Background.
and activities,
It would be easier.
violent.
Right.
They
right.
looking at my criminal shooting and all that.
Wow.
So they feel like this man an alcoholic. He's not capable of that. That's something you'll do.
Dang.
So they cuffed me, took me to jail. I went to court. They found me guilty. Right? I said, wow. They found me guilty. So now it's sentencing time. I went for sentencing. They gave me life on robbery. They gave me life with a mandatory 25 years on the murder. So altogether, when I walked out the courtroom, back to my cell with 3 life sentences. And I was only 23 at this time now because they kept me in jail 2 years.
That's crazy.
So I was 23 years old with 3 life sentences, headed to the worst prison in the state of Florida, Rayford. And the Rock, East Unit. Okay? So I got inside of the prison system. Now, you asked me the question, what caused you to change? First, I accepted in the county jail, but I was still fighting, I was still cussing, I was still doing my thing because my masculinity. Ain't nobody taking that.
Right. Yeah,
You see what I'm saying? I want to serve God, I want to do the right thing, but now I'm being stereotyped that this place I'm going to, you got to put down. So I noticed the life I live on the street, but I'm tired of this life. I want to change. But I guess they were saying it's the wrong time to change now, Scurry, because you're going to have to stand up now. So I accepted the Lord inside of the county jail. I went to prison. I started doing all kind of crazy stuff in prison. I mean, I preach in the daytime, sell weed at night.
He had half foot in the door, half foot out.
Right.
I'm coming to you, Lord.
Yeah.
Just give me a second.
Yeah.
I got to make the sale.
Let me finish.
I got to make the sale. I'm coming to you, Lord.
That's why I be telling these guys they can't trick me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? 'Cause
Yeah.
I don't been there. See, I used to preach in the daytime, and at night I used to sell all the weed on the pound. And so the guy said, Scurry, Blue, man, you ain't nothing but a bootleg preacher. So I didn't know I'm a novice. I didn't know nothing about this type of life. I'm a novice. So
Got you crying.
Yeah. Said, you ain't nothing but a bootleg preacher. That's all you is. You preach in the daytime, and at night. I said, well, I ain't smoking it.
Right.
Hey, how I'm doing wrong? I'm just distributing.
I'm keeping the temple,
Yeah.
holy.
Yeah, I ain't smoking.
It's God's natural herb.
So one day, one of my best friends, right now, Bishop Bernard Pratt, he was in there. He said, come go to church with me Sunday. I meant Saturday, because they had a church service on Saturday. They call it the upper room.
Okay.
In the chapel. I said, man, I don't want to go up there playing, man. God, dog, man. I said, no, man. He said, man, Blue, come on, man. Just go this one time. I went up there. And that man was preaching. Something rose up inside of me, man. I went up in that man's face. And I told that man, I said, listen, you ain't going to be preaching like that up in here. I'm talking about, like I was for
Oh, you just want to...
like I was for to attack this guy, right?
Let's go.
That was them demons. They had rose up and when I rose up, that man looked me right in the face. And he took that hand like this here, like a big old claw. That's all I seen. And I was laying on the floor.
Shaq's hand.
I was laying on the floor. I don't know what I was saying. But I was laying on the
speaking tongues.
Yeah, I was laying.
Like, why am I looking at the ceiling?
Yeah. And all kind of junk coming out the side of my mouth and everything. I'm saying. But when I got up from that moment there, it was like I was different. I was never the same. I was never the same. And so we went through Rayford. We went through these places just witnessing, telling people that God could change you. God could do this and God could do that. Because I knew that I was changed then. I didn't have that mentality to want to fight like I used to and sell weed. I went home and dumped. I went back to my dormitory and dumped everything. Just dumped everything. It's like I didn't want to see it, like it was nasty to me. But see, I like I said, I was stereotyped because they saying, "Oh, you young, oh man, and y'all young goons when y'all get off the bus, y'all the guys that they rape and this and that." And so the guy said, "Yeah, man, all they do with these Bibles, they hide behind the Bible." I said, "Well, I ain't the one hiding behind no Bible." So I had to make an example.
Gotcha.
And so when I made the example, then everybody said, "Man, Fort Miles ain't nothing to be played with, man. Don't mess with them Fort Miles boys."
sir.
And so that's how I end up coming to the Lord, and I've been walking with the Lord for 41 years.
That's what's up.
Amen.
Ever since 23 years old,
Like,
and I've been preaching 38 years. 38 years I've been preaching. 38 years I've been preaching. God called me 3 years later after all that, and I've been preaching ever since. I've been running ever since.
Tell them how long you stayed in there.
I stayed in prison 14 years. 14 solid years on a case that I didn't do.
that you didn't do.
I didn't do. You
So
know?
ultimately, how'd you end up coming back out? Like getting back?
Oh, on the 14 years, well, the sentence, they had me locked down. I was never supposed to get out of prison. Right now, I'm supposed to be still
3
in
lives.
prison right now.
Yeah.
Right? What happened was when we was in trial, my attorney asked them to give the courts instruction on a lesser included offense and lesser included offense. Right? They refused. They reject everything my attorney put in. So when it came for my rehearing, when we filed for a motion, amen, for overturning of the case, the U.S. Supreme Court overturned my case, said they violated my constitutional right,
Wow.
I see that.
That's
and they brought me back. They brought me back on the same case, and they immediately released me. And so I had a lawsuit, and I had this old joker out of Fort Pierce, Florida. He was going with my niece. He was an attorney. He was a good guy because he had just beat the same type of case that he just had.
Right.
Yeah, for $500 and some odd $1,000. So he was a good guy. But when him and my niece had got in a little quarrel and they separated, then he didn't tell us right then. He waited 2 years later to say, "Well, y'all got to get you another." And my expiration date was over. I had him in my hand. The man,
Oh wow.
a white attorney told me he was a criminal, but I'm civil.
Civil,
Yeah.
right.
So he said, "Scurry, if you don't have nobody to put your papers in the courts, come back to me and I'll put you something in the court. Then your case can stay alive." And this dude held my case all the way up to 2 years.
Never
2
submitted.
years, submitted nothing. Every time we called him, he said that he
That's
was doing
grimy.
something.
Yeah.
Right? So what happened was me and Eric Young, brother Eric Young, we went to Lakeland. We had met this brother in church. His brother was an attorney. He said, "Come to Lakeland, bring your paper." We thought we were still alive.
Right.
So we take off the weekend, we go to Lakeland. And we put our papers on his desk. And so he said, man, y'all got an awesome case. He said, y'all ain't gonna never have to work no more.
Never.
I said, what? He said, man, you know what all the stuff you go file, your children, your wife, stress,
14 years that
Oh
you
man,
lost.
what? Yes.
Right.
So he went to name it off. So I said, "Oh, I got happy. I sat on up a little more. I ain't never have to work. You know what I'm saying? God, you making this thing, happen."
Yeah.
And he came back, my brothers, and he took them papers and slammed them down on the desk. And he shook his head, looked at me and Eric. He said, "Man, this guy done mess y'all up. Don't y'all know today was y'all last day to have filed something in the court?" And that was on the weekend.
Damn.
And he went off. He went off. He said, "That's it. Ain't nothing I could do."
Yeah.
He said, "The only way you get some money out of this case now, Mr. Scurry and Mr. Young," he said, "you're going to have to sue the attorney."
Oh.
He said, "you're going to have to sue that attorney. Insufficient assistant of counsel."
Mm-hmm.
And so I say, you know what? I said, I don't want to sue the brother. I said, Lord, if it meant for me to be a
It would
millionaire,
happen. Yeah.
you'd have made it happen.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I don't want to sue. He said, but he had cussed the attorney. He had cursed. You know, he had cursed.
Yeah.
So he was saying like I was a fool not to. You don't spend all this time in prison. This is your reward. You should get something out of it. So I just let it go. And so from that point on, that's how I've been living.
Wow.
By faith. You know what I'm saying? I don't look for no gimmicks. And I tell people all the time, it's not predicated on what God could give us.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's predicated on we love God.
Right.
Not for what he could give us. Or we could fly, or we could spend money, or we go buy a new car, stay a night. That's not what it's about.
Mm-hmm.
It's about loving him and he loving us back. That's what it's all about. And so that's how we live.
Do you think you'd be different if you had the money? Or you think you'd be the same person you are today?
Well, the Bible says the love of money is the root of all evil. If you love it, it could change you.
Mm-hmm.
But see, I'm gonna give it anyway. My wife would tell
He
you.
wouldn't have a dime.
I probably wouldn't have a dime. Yeah.
As long as you open a homeless shelter for people to help
Yeah.
you out, that'd be.
And see, that was my goal.
You wanted to do good. With it.
See, that was my goal in my first marriage.
Mhm.
I had owned the whole block.
Mhm.
Owned the daycare. We owned the daycare with 93 children. We was grossing like $70,000 a month.
Oh wow.
We owned the whole block apartments. We had a restaurant. We had a clothing business. We had a lawn service. We had 4 businesses doing great. You see what I'm saying? So that was our goal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But sometimes you get on the mountaintop and you look out over there, you want it all.
Yeah, you want it.
So, God know what He's doing because we still going up the mountain.
Mhm.
Me and her, we still going up the mountain to get on the mountaintop.
Mhm.
But we just letting God and we staying humble. We loving on one another, respecting one another, understanding. Because understanding is the best thing.
Yeah.
That communication with understanding is the best thing. And so that's what we got to start realizing, understanding. Know your mate. Her likes and dislikes.
Mhm.
That you won't cross that line. And things will roll smoothly.
That's true.
Yes.
That's facts.
Oh, that's what's up.
Wow.
Um,
Wow.
a question I have for you is, and if you don't want to speak on it, then we don't have to. But when they pronounced you dead, after they brought you back, what happened that didn't make you want to change after you died? Because I know some people after they die and they come back and they get a second chance at life, they try to step away from all the negativity or the bad. But for you said you continued it till you were like 22.
Yeah.
So what made you want to continue to live that lifestyle even after?
Because I wanted revenge.
Right.
When I came back, see, the experience that I had when I was laying on the ground.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? I didn't know I was there. It was the surroundings, like my mom and all them. So how long they let me lay it on the street with the sheet over me. I lost another son. But what I'm saying that when I came back by the power of God is that I wanted revenge. That's what all in my mind. Revenge because my mom said when I start coming back through, you know what I'm saying, they come to look at the body and say it's dead, but they come back there, I'm talking to the detective when they don't pronounce me dead.
Wow.
And so only thing I was saying, I'm all out of my mind. I'm only telling the detective, I know them. I know them.
Yeah.
I know them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna kill. That's all I kept
Repeat.
rehearsing and
Yeah.
repeating.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna kill him.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So when I came through, that's what it was about. It was about revenge. So now I know build up not only revenge, but I know build like a little hate and a little bitter, inside of me for humanity.
Right.
Gotcha.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
For humanity. If you get out of line, I'm not taking the chance.
That's true. Because you don't.
You know what I'm
You
saying?
never know. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just a little boy.
Right. Right.
And I own my own first my first pistol I own was a 22. They call it Saturday Night Special. I own my first little 22, and I used to take it to the bus stop and hide it up under the tree till I get off the bus.
Oh wow. Okay.
And then I put my pistol on me.
There you go.
You see what I'm saying? So that's what happened. I didn't stop.
Wow.
Gotcha.
Wow. So like now, like even today, because you say you used to travel and preach. Is that something you still partake in today? Like
Yeah, that's what me and her do now. You know, we travel all around. We take vacations too.
okay,
But the majority of our life is consist of ministry.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We do street ministry. Like I said, we go in the streets. We feed the homeless. Um, we like they're trying to get me on the radio now in Fort Miles.
Oh,
One of my friends
That's
on
awesome.
the radio now, named Pastor Thomas, the Dunbar community. Dunbar community.
I can't remember the name.
Yeah, but they on the air.
Mhm.
And so they really trying to get men to come on the air, and be a part,
Oh yeah.
like you all, right? And so we do that, and we travel different places. We communicate with different ministry, different pastors. We don't care whether you're white, black, green, or yellow.
Mm-hmm.
It don't matter to us, amen. Because we don't look at a color bearer. Because if you bleed just like I bleed, we just a different color.
At the end of the
You know
day,
what I'm saying?
we
You
here.
know, the greatest thing we try to portray in our life is love.
Yes, sir.
We want the love of God. I don't want you to see me. I want you to see the love of God in me.
And
You see what I'm saying? And my wife will tell you, I can most befriend anybody, the meanest person. You can put me among the meanest person. When you get back, you say, "No, I don't believe blue."
I don't know who that is.
No.
Yeah.
Amen. And my wife said, "Well, how do you, when people just do you wrong, Scurry? How do you still go back
Right.
and help these people? And you still, you still inject into these people. How?" And she said, "I believe the older you getting, the more compassionate and soft God making you your heart for
With age,
people
With
with
comes
age."
wisdom.
Exactly. Cause my wife said it would be me, Scurry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
I'm hearing this. And I'm like,
they bite me one
oh
time. That's it.
man, I'm hearing it, and like, bro, my chest getting tight. I'm just like, oh, just like that. Oh man.
He
That's
has
different.
reached out and like literally giving people money and not a little bit of money. And they tell him, "Well, Pastor, I'm gonna pay you back when such and such, and Pastor, I'm gonna do this." Then he has taken people in and helped them in more than many different ways, and they stab him in the back. They do, and I know the one guy, he really hurt him. I literally felt his hurt for months, and I'm like,
But he still goes back.
That's,
But he's
yeah.
still-
How do you continue to find that trust
yeah,
in people? How do you?
I'm like, how do you do this?
Hope in humanity,
amazing.
man. That's all
I really
can
can't.
say.
I really can't explain
That's
it.
amazing.
It's a feeling. It's a
Yeah.
feeling, a vibe, or
Yeah.
however they call it.
That's
today.
amazing.
They come in there, sit down there, talk. Bishop Scurry, this, Bishop Scurry, and just let my heart just go out.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And like this one guy, my wife them, they say, "Why you? He gonna bite you again, Scurry? He done bit you twice.
Mhm.
He gonna bite you again."
Yeah, I told
The
him.
whole church, Pastor, man, why? Come in, accept the man,
You bite you.
Yeah.
bite me again.
Oh man.
Me? Nope.
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 no.
She got a good insight,
No.
good discernment.
She got that good force,
Yeah.
right? She could.
And a lot of times she don't bail me out. A lot of time I get ready to do something, she said, "Babe, listen." Then I say, "Man, she just being hard." You know what I'm saying? But when I take that roadway that she's taking me down,
Yeah.
I escape.
You're good. Yeah, you're
Escape.
safe. Safe
I
passage.
Yeah.
And so
What's up?
a lot of time we don't want to listen because in the church world, they always holler about Eve. See, that's what got us in trouble now, the men.
Oh
Eve.
my God.
Eve didn't get us in trouble. Adam did.
Adam did.
Because God didn't give it to Eve. He gave it to Adam. So even though she ate whatever tree or whatever fruit or whatever orange or apple or peach or
Whatever it was. Yeah.
whatever it was,
Mhm.
he didn't have to eat it. Because he didn't give it to her. He gave it to you. So if you would have stood, then we could see another outcome.
Mhm.
Right.
But because you didn't stand as the man,
Right.
this is what we got to go
You
through.
went in and
So
you got
don't
that.
holler by Eve. See, that's what get me with the church world. Eve.
Pick and choose.
Eve don't ruin it all. I'm
Yeah.
just like, bro, but you said okay too.
Yes.
Yeah.
You said let me take a bite.
Yeah.
too.
Yes.
So we can be on the same level.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's wild. That's wild, man. That's wild. But
Yeah.
it's like one thing that I've usually, and I believe we talked about this last time Trishan was here too, where it was just like, we live in a world where it's hard to find like someone who has a genuine relationship with God, and not someone who's using it to manipulate or make money or something like that.
Yep.
And it's like,
Mega churches.
like
Yes.
They know.
that'd be wild,
they know.
man. That'd be wild. Private jets and
Yeah,
And
all
it's
that
like-
stuff like that.
it's like, where's this coming from? And, you know, and there was, what was it, a couple weeks ago, it was on, I think it was on TikTok, where it was a pastor who was admonishing his congregation because they weren't funding, you know, his lifestyle and stuff like that, you know, and he used the phrase, or the reason why I'm able to do this is because, you know, I'm able to extend the glory God has given me,
Oh, really?
you know, is by you donating and paying to the. I'm
It's like
yo,
absolving.
there's
It's like
no
absolving
way.
warriors of their sin, and then telling them
Right.
you can go to war. You're not gonna burn.
Because it's like now we live in such a where everything is just internet and like everything online is not what you see it as it is.
For real.
And even now, where it's like some people will pick up this persona that, you know, they're this God worshiping, God fearing person, and they'll give out information and spread this, you know, foul
They'll
information.
be deceitful.
They'll
Yeah.
deceitful just to make money and manipulate people and stuff like that.
So they pick and choose when to use God instead.
Right.
Because like you'll have genuine believers, and then you'll have the people that pick and choose when they want to
Yeah.
throw God in your face.
Right.
Right.
And my question is like, how do you find a balance between like doing that? You know, because at the end of the day, you still have to make money.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? How do you find the balance in that where money isn't the priority because you still want to deliver the message, but you still need to, you know, bring in some type of money, something like that.
Oh.
Oh, either or.
Yeah, either or, anyone.
The for one, I'm gonna say this: he doesn't have a salary from church. He don't get paid
Okay.
from church.
Wow.
The tithes, the offering strictly goes to ministry.
Okay.
He doesn't get like most people or some pastors get $60,000-$70,000 a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's
None
crazy.
of that.
Yes.
It would be nice. It would
Yeah.
be nice, but
And they'll travel.
And
to
more.
different-
yeah.
And more.
Yeah.
Yeah, some get, 100,000, but he doesn't. We make our own money.
Mhm.
We work, we make our money that way, and we still pay tithes,
Right.
and we still give offerings.
Yes.
So we make money and we still give back to the
To the
ministry.
ministry. That's fine. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So
That's awesome.
we don't do anything for money.
Right.
When we have our fundraisers and stuff like that, it's all for ministry.
All for ministry.
All for ministry. Every dollar that comes into ministry, it goes back into the ministry.
I got you. That's
For
awesome.
repairs, for if someone needs something. We have like, he usually does street services and cooks and just give food
And just
away.
give-
Because
That's awesome.
people will listen when you give them food.
Oh yeah, bro! You
People
feel my
listen-
stomach, my
Yes.
ears, bro.
Yes, wide open.
My ears wide
You
open,
feeding
bro.
me that? Yes.
I'll listen to anything you gotta
Yes.
say, bro. I'll listen.
Yeah.
Put a plate right in front, bro.
Yeah.
Cookout table right there on your
Yes,
lap,
sir.
bro. I'll listen.
Yes, sir.
I'll listen for
No,
sure.
but I agree, because there's a lot of organizations, especially companies, that try to portray themselves as doing something good. Like United Way, they'll say, "Oh, the associates need to donate a certain amount to United Way,"
Yes.
but come to find out, they only give 25% to United Way, and then the company keeps the 75%.
That's
Oh, you didn't know that?
No.
That's nuts. Yeah.
Now you know.
That's
why I
nuts,
only give
yeah.
$1.
Wow.
That's why I give
Yep,
$1.
yep. I'm
Yeah.
gonna be honest. Yep, that's
Yeah,
that's what happens, and it's
You
like,
just enlightened me.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I learn something new every day, especially in the position that I'm at, and there's a lot of grimy stuff that goes on when you get into the higher up. But yeah, that's that. When you learn it a lot, it doesn't make any sense to do certain things because they're not they're not benefiting anybody else. They're just profiting for themselves. Because when they say when they bring that plaque in that says they've donated this much amount to United Way, if you do the math, it's not, that's not what the amount should be. So it's like, if you're doing this for charity, why aren't they getting 100% of the
Exactly.
proceeds?
Right.
But again,
So that's why those customers are saying no, because I don't know where the money is really going.
Boom.
Yeah.
And I look at them like,
School
well, I just
supplies,
told you. I
yeah.
just told you where it's going. There was the one guy. He was like, no, you told me, but we don't know that money. All of this money is going to this
Yeah.
charity.
yeah.
So
Well, because when I started working in the early 2000s, we used to, like back to schools, we used to actually create the bags, put the books, all that stuff like that. The company would come pick it up. Now it's you scan a barcode.
Yeah.
Now,
and
how do you
then-
know it's actually going?
Yeah. How do we
Right.
even know the bags even being made or something?
Right.
Like when we did the
Yeah,
Thanksgiving
understand.
bags, or we did the back to school bags, or we did the Christmas bags,
Wow.
we would literally have a watermelon dump bin. Every bag we sold, we put it in there.
right.
Or give it to the customer so they can put it in there.
Mhm.
Then at the end of the week, they'd come and pick it up, put it in the back of their trucks, vans, whatever, take it to the kids. Now it's you scan a barcode.
Oh wow.
yeah.
Oh,
That's
wow.
crazy, man.
Yeah, it is.
That's
Sadly, that type of stuff right there gives a bad name to the church world, for the ones who are really, really.
Yeah, that they don't just use God as
Yes.
a front to do what they need to do
Yes, because people will take the Bible and take scriptures
out of context.
and use it for their gain.
Their game.
And they know that you say God, you say God is going to do this. If you don't do this, then God is going to be mad, or God is going to take stuff away from you.
Mhm.
Then automatically they know that, okay, I can make you do whatever I want you to do because I just threw God in there.
Yep.
And I just gave you a scripture,
Mhm.
and it comes directly from the Bible. Well, that's an act of evil also. When
Yeah.
you use the Bible,
To manipulate.
To manipulate.
Yeah.
There you go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and I've seen that because in like a previous episode, I talked about how I was involved in like a MLM, pyramid scheme and stuff, and we ended up going to a conference out in Orlando, and it was like a huge conference. A lot of multi-millionaires came out, were speaking and stuff.
Crying. And
They were crying,
selling their
telling
sob stories.
telling their stories and stuff. And I'm looking around, and they're like, "Yeah, God gave me this success, and He wanted you here so He could extend this success
I
to
bet.
you." And I'm like, I'm looking at all these people here, and I'm like, none of them look like they could afford to pay next month's rent.
right?
You know what I'm saying? Like none of these people, like they're taking these membership fees every single month from these people.
Right.
And it's like the goal is to, if you want to make money, you have to have X amount of people under you. They make money and you earn their commission. And then it goes all the way up to the top. So whatever you earn, a percentage is cut from that.
Yeah.
And so on and so forth.
Mhm.
And it was just so weird to me. Where it's like I see this and I see how it's negatively impacting me.
Mhm.
And I'm doing everything right. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And I'm losing money. Like I'm being made to, buy executive packages to have one-on-one
That you can't even
meetings
afford.
with these motivational speakers. Join the exclusive club. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah, and he said, and
yeah.
and his
Oh, wow.
his boy his boy that we were interviewing, Brad, said this is the first thing that they messed up on is they led with money. They were telling you how much they made and all that stuff like that. So that's how you already knew it was a pyramid scheme because they led
Yeah.
with the millions.
It was
that
money
they had.
and God, because they brought I don't think not a single person up there was like a preacher or a pastor or anything.
Oh goodness.
It was just a bunch of business guru guys just like talking about $80 million jets because God wanted them to have it. Or
In that case, we all would have.
yeah,
one.
that's what I'm
exactly.
saying. And that was the question I had. Like, I looked around, and this arena is packed with, like, I'd probably say no more than 1,200 people. And I'm like, so you telling me everyone here is about to be up on stage in the next 5-10 years?
10% of them will, but 90% will fail.
That was wild.
That's the reality of it.
It was wild.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was wild, yeah. And most of it is through, and the way they did it, it was like they legitimized it with the front of, okay, we sell securities and insurance. But the business model was bring 2 or 3 people under you, they'll sell whatever they make, you get that commission.
Yep.
And the more people you have under you, the less you have to work.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah,
You know?
Especially
Sounds like Primerica.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I done been in that.
Mm-hmm.
What? Sounds like what?
Primerica.
What's that?
There was one. It's similar. It was Transamerica.
Okay.
Yeah, there was one. Yeah, it was like Transamerica. They were stationed out in, I think, L.A. They're the ones with the little triangle building.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking? Yeah. And they had people in branches all the way out. There's actually one on Metro Parkway.
Mm-hmm.
There's actually one on Metro Parkway. Yeah.
Schemers.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was real sketch.
Yeah. So
It was
I'm
real
glad
sketch.
that we're not that type of people.
Oh, no.
to
No,
do
that's good.
stuff.
It's hard to find humble people that actually want good intentions for a lot of people.
Like there isn't an ulterior motive
Exactly. Like
behind it. You know
But
what I'm
see,
saying?
the Bible say, bring your tithes and offer to the storehouse, that we may have meat in it. Other word, have bread. So the tithes and the offering is not for the pastor. It's for the body of Christ. If the house is lacking, amen, we could go to the storehouse. It's not for the pastor to go buy him a new jet, a new car,
Exactly.
or buy him a mansion. You know what I'm saying? Buy him all type of fine suits. Now, if you want to put him on a salary, that's you. But
Right.
we talking about the word.
Mhm.
You see, your concern should be about lost souls. If you take care of God's business, God will take care of your business.
Yes, sir.
You see what I'm saying? But you want to take care of your business and God business.
Mm.
You want to take God business and make it your
Make it
business.
your
Your
business.
business.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what the tithes and the offering is supposed to be all about. It's supposed to be about the body, the people's, not about you. And so, me, myself, I have a problem. I have a problem with that. You see what I'm saying? I have a problem with you raking in all this money, but you got little local churches right in your community that need some help.
I need help. Yeah.
Yeah.
That need some struggling, need some
Yeah.
reconstruction.
Yep.
You know, need renovation. But you'll take them X amount of dollars that you getting and you'll go way to Africa
And go build a.
and go build a water supply, a
yeah.
school,
Yeah.
and all these type of things when you got an academic right in your back
Right
door.
in your backyard. Yep.
I have a problem with that.
Yeah.
That's
Because
good.
you're
We
looking
got
in the wrong
people-
direction.
Yeah, we got people starving right inside the U.S.
Yeah.
But you go over there, cross the water.
We gotta help ourselves first.
Yes.
Helping
How
everybody
can I
else.
help you when I can't even help myself?
Right.
So why take God money? And that's why I'm very discreet about giving.
Yeah.
They talk about sow a seed. See, I don't judge man from the outer pupil of a man. I try to deal with his spirit. You see what I'm saying? Deal with a man's spirit.
Yeah.
His motives. See, your motives might not be right. When I see all these evangelists on the TV evangelists and all these big so-called people's on TV that everybody respect, but I guarantee you right now, if we sit down and we compose a letter to them, I bet you we won't get nailed down.
No.
We could tell them our situation.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
And they
No,
sitting
no,
on
he's right.
millions.
Right.
They sitting on millions. And we could tell them our situations of what we going through. And I guarantee you, before we get that money, it'll go cross seas.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And I have a problem with that.
Oh, yeah.
So I ask God, don't let this type of heart be inside of me, because I want to care for the people. I don't care if I have to catch the street bus. Long as I do your will. See, I know you're going to make sure. See, one thing about the Creator, whether you want to call him Yahweh, Yahshua, Jehovah,
Allah.
Allah,
Yeah.
El Shaddai, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
One thing about him, he make provision for his people.
Yes,
All through the Bible, you can see. You go to Quran. I had a Quran. You go through the Quran. All through, you see God making provision for his people. Now, if I make provision for you, and you say you're gonna be like me, then guess what I want you to do? I want you to make provision for the people.
for the people.
See, but we greedy. See, man, greedy.
Yeah.
And that's what you have to watch in ministry. If God begin to open doors and you become a millionaire, I like the question you asked me. No, you asked me.
Mm.
I like the question you asked me. You said if you'd have got millions, would that have turned your heart?
Okay,
Mhm.
right.
See, some people want millions, can't even handle $1,000.
Yeah.
They'll turn from God when they get 1,000.
That's
They'll
a
stop
lot.
coming to church.
It's that, yeah.
They'll stop coming to prayer.
They different, yeah.
They're different.
Yeah.
They're like they're on top of the world.
It's
Just like,
1,000, 100 grand to them.
Yes.
It's like it's gonna finish in
Yes.
2 days.
Not
And that-
even two.
and that's just like I was telling them in our community. I say, look at all the big churches in our community. Who got them? It ain't no black or white thing.
No.
But just look at the mentality of the people.
Mm-hmm.
See, we get a little church, hold 200 or 300 people. We think we sitting on top of the
The
world.
world, right?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Can I use your church to do it for? Oh, I got to pay you $600-700. Where they do that at?
$1,000.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that'd be
More than that.
good,
Yeah.
Yeah.
More than that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, can we use your church?
Yeah.
Pay us.
Yes.
So now it's not about God; it's
Yeah.
about money.
Right.
Bingo.
Right.
Yep, that's the problem.
Right.
Where they do that at?
That's the problem
Where they do that?
because when you look at those mega churches, these guys can be living in a 3-2 on a half acre, a quarter acre, but they choose to buy mansions, and then the cars that they drive, and on top of that, they got these 100 or 200-inch screens or projectors.
Yeah.
And it's
Blows my mind.
that's crazy.
bro.
And even
Blows my
I don't know what the
mind.
name of that guy that's in the mega church, but remember when the one of the states got hit with a hurricane and he didn't want to open up his church to the people
to let the
to let the
Joel
people in.
Osteen.
Joe.
Oh, is that his name?
Osteen.
Yeah,
Joel
big controversy, and he was just trying to find
Yeah.
excuses on why he didn't want to do that.
Right.
He didn't want no bums or poor
Yeah.
people in his church. And like, you a God man?
Yeah.
Nah. Get
It's
outta here.
I'm like,
And their
Yeah,
church
yeah.
came from a bond. His daddy started in a bond.
wow.
Yeah. Started inside of a bond. Just like when you go to the feed store up here,
Mhm.
Yeah,
he started in one of them.
Wow.
that's why they always say when you get big or have status, don't forget your humble beginnings.
Yeah.
Don't forget where you came from, because a lot of people do that. And we were having that conversation last night because my brother's like, "Would money change you?" And I told him, I'm always going to be me. I've never been any different. I've never had money, and even if I did, I don't see myself changing. And he said he rebutted with a great question. He's like, "Well, how do you know that? Because you say that now, but what if you have money?" I said, "Well, the only
Because it'll sorry, go ahead.
yeah.
But it'll afford you different, like more access to things you never had.
Exactly.
True. That's true.
Like different things you've never seen.
That's true.
Like
Exactly.
it'll make you feel a lot more exclusive, and it'll try to isolate you from other people, because then you'll feel like
That's what they want.
that's what
Yeah.
they want.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because it's not a conscious decision that,
No.
oh, I'm gonna be greedy with my money. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, some people could make that decision, but it's like a lot of people realize it's tough to handle money, especially when you have a lot of it. If you're not ready or
Get an
open,
accountant.
right?
Kid counting. That's it.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you're not open to the possibility that, like my mindset may change or how I move may change.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you might go throughout the world with a open mind and be giving and stuff, but you don't know the person that's preying on your
True.
downfall,
That's
person
true.
that's looking
That's
for
true.
you.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it's just stuff like that. It's like, it's like, how do you change, but for the better, and not necessarily become someone who's closed off, who's really,
And I told him have a plan. If money fell in your if a $1 million fell in your bank account tomorrow morning, what are you gonna do with it? Because a lot of people don't have plans. That's how come you hear about a lot of millionaires that get rich and then go broke in 3 months, because they don't have a plan or what they want to do with the money or an outlet that they can put it in or goals or. But that's what I'm saying. So
Right,
what my mentor always told me was have a plan. If you become rich tomorrow, know what you want to do with it. And I told him last night. I said the goal is always to help people.
Yeah, that's
Goals
really
are-
always
the goal is
That's my
always to
goal.
help
always
with
been-
That's
always been
to
help
to
with.
elevate friends and family and get
Mhm.
them with us, because again, I always take his saying, if my friends aren't successful and family aren't successful, I'm not successful. Doesn't matter where I sit. So that's one thing I resonated when he talked about that. So that's why I told him, and I gave him the example of me being a manager and growing up and moving up in the company, because a lot of managers that gain that smidge of power and money, they change. They treat people like they're nothing else.
Yes.
And I've been consistently the same since I started, since where I was at. And I said, my mom raised me. I've been humble my entire life. She taught us well. We are who we are. My personality won't change because of money. I've never had it, and even if I did, I'd continue giving. I say I go broke sometimes because I help people so much, and then people try to pay me back, and I'm like, nope,
Yeah.
I ain't taking it. You try to put it in my account, I'm denying it.
He's true. He's telling the truth about it.
Yeah, yeah. So that's just me. So yeah, money does change a lot of people, and you're actually one of the good pastors that are genuine and honest,
Yeah,
and
like,
actually
that's-
put God first and not money.
What got me was I'm gonna drop it after 15 years.
Yeah, that's hard.
Man,
that's hard,
hard.
because that's 14 years you don't get back.
That's
You see what I'm saying? It's
yeah,
14 years. So that,
No, honestly, I commend you. I wish I had that type of.
he would have been
just-
mad. He would have been cussing everybody out.
don't
It's like you this and that, and
You don't
took my life.
One, because I'm thinking with my brain right now. You know what I'm saying? Maybe in the future, but like, I'm just thinking that's 15 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have been mad. Wow.
Mhm.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's
That's amazing.
You have to look at all of his young adult years.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Gone,
Yeah.
Yeah.
For real.
gone.
Yeah.
Never
Everything.
can get it back.
Yeah.
All of the sleepless nights and
Yeah.
oh, I was like, that's you real nose.
Bruce. Come on.
Bruce.
All of the sleepless nights and all of the trauma from just being in there.
Mm-hmm.
You can never get that back,
Mhm.
and then you have to think about
Yeah.
the psychological part.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You can't change that. That's something you have to live like
To live with.
exactly. Only God can keep you in the right state of mind
Right.
of all of the stuff, all of the stories he tell. Oh my God,
Wow.
I would have lost my mind.
For
Seriously,
real.
I would have
For
lost
real.
my mind.
God, I'm gonna have to put
That's
you on the back
amazing.
burner for about 20 years.
I need to, man.
Yeah.
That's a wow.
That is, and then like I said, that's an amazing testimony.
Do you ever feel like, because I think what ended up, because I used to have a really aggressive personality mentality, like I had anger issues and stuff. But then, I don't know, something
really
happened.
bad?
Something happened to me where it was just like, it just became really exhausting to be angry
Yeah,
all the time.
it is
like
more
just
exhausting.
like wasting energy. Like me, I get mad or more. I start sweating. I get tired.
like right now.
Like, you know,
Are you
I'm
angry?
mad for him, man.
Oh, that's why you're
Yeah.
sweating.
Yeah, I
Okay.
told you my
Yeah.
chest got tight because I'm like, man,
Bruh.
like I'm thinking about like everything, and I'm like, man, I don't know if I would have been able to let it go.
I
don't know if
wouldn't
I'd
have.
been
I'm
able to
being
let it
honest.
go.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't.
That's
have.
amazing. That's
But
But you
amazing.
know what? The amazing thing about it is that when you have a different mind setting than other people's,
That's facts.
it's a blessing.
Yeah.
Because when I was confined in that prison, the guy that turned state on me, that did it, actually did it, turned state on me, guess what they did? They flew that man to Gainesville where I was and put him in the cell with me.
What?
The guy that turned state on me.
Ain't right.
So what they wanted to do,
It's called karma.
they wanted me to kill him. You know why they wanted me to kill him? Because they didn't have nothing.
They have no.
Ah.
But because, I don't start elevating
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and start seeing that, this is the trick.
Right.
They want me to do
It's
something
the
to this
bait,
guy.
yeah.
Or, because I had one of my friends, because I was there before he even got there.
Yeah.
And so when I seen him get off the bus, I said, hey, man, partner, that's the dude right there turned state on me. He said, what, Blue? I said, yeah, that's the dude right there. He said, give me a pack of cigarettes, a carton of cigarettes. I kill him. I said, oh, please, don't touch him.
No,
Don't
no,
touch him. Don't.
no.
I said,
it?
don't touch him.
Whoa.
Because, see, at the time that I went into the prison, they weren't giving you no time for killing an inmate or officer. or nothing.
Okay.
The time changed when Martinez came in the chair. When Governor Martinez took the chair,
Mm-hmm.
he brought a law out and said you're going to get the same time that if you was on the street, if you was in society. He brought it into the system. And that's what stopped a lot of killing in prison.
Killing, right.
Yeah, but they sent him there for me to kill that guy. Then I would have been trapped.
Yeah,
Right.
because then they got you on
You see what I'm
something.
saying?
Mhm.
Because my attorney had already told me, if this man go to trial, see the court system's so tricky. Number one, when we failed, my attorney had already told me that the guy couldn't get no more than 15 years
Mm-hmm.
because it wasn't premeditated or nothing of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
And he was drunk. So they were saying that he was under the influence of alcohol.
Mhm.
He wasn't in his right state of mind, so he wasn't fully responsible for his actions. That's what my attorney was addressing. Okay? So he couldn't face number 15 years. Okay? That'd have made me a scot-free man. I'd have walked out there doing 6 months in the county jail and a free man.
Free man.
But see, God got a plan. It wasn't time.
Yes, sir.
Because if I wouldn't have went to jail, I probably got killed on the streets.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I probably got killed on the street. I'm telling you.
I gave you time with yourself.
the route that I was going there,
Yeah.
I would have got killed on the street. I would have shootouts.
Yeah.
Just one of me shooting out with 6 men, 5 men.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just one of me. You know what I'm saying? Then I got a little posse, a little young group. You know, I was the head of them. You know what I'm saying? And God just used all of that just to show us, you know what I'm saying, that this is what they want to do. This man ended up letting the state convince him to cop out to life in prison with a mandatory 25 years. He died in prison like about 4 years ago
Wow.
in Avon Park. He died in prison. And at that time that he had no dead, I've been on the street now 25 years.
25 since you. Okay.
Yeah, since that happened. And so he died. He died in Avon Park.
Wow.
Yeah, and he's never supposed to have done no more than 15 years on that sentence. He wouldn't have did that much because we had the CRD, we had the incentive game time, we had all the different types of game time at that time now. So he wouldn't have did that much on 15 years. He probably did about 7 years,
Parole.
7 to 8 years parole. He on the street.
Right.
He let them cop them out.
Wow.
The turn stayed on me because they wanted me. They wanted me off the street.
Mm-hmm.
In my write-up, I got all my old papers, old clippings. They 20-something years old. So I was a minister to society. They had to get me off the street.
Wow.
They were
That's
petitioning.
crazy.
Wow.
The peoples in Cape Cod, Caucasian,
Mm-hmm.
they were petitioning
To keep you in
to
there.
keep me in the city.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
That's crazy.
That's
They
how
was a minister to society.
They
man, to
have
keep me.
malice in their heart and they don't even know who
Yes.
you are as a human
Wow.
being.
That's the same way they on Doug McCrae.
Right.
They petition to keep him locked up.
Keep them locked up. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? It was a white guy, Caucasian, killed at the store. It was a Caucasian killed with Doug McCrae. She was a female. He was a male. See, they don't know the town they're living in,
Mm-hmm.
but I do.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
That's right.
So, don't think you got the heads up or we got the upper. No. It's clans dressed up. People laughing with you.
Mhm.
But if you take that cover off them, you'll see, boy,
You see? Yeah.
they will kill you.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yes.
crazy.
Mhm.
So, I thank God, man. I thank God for this
That's amazing.
because people need to hear it.
Yeah, that's I'm glad that we can give you that platform to give a voice because that resonates and spreads the message to everybody. Because again, people can change.
Yes.
People can
Yes, we
change.
can.
Don't prejudge people based off of what you see or hear, and then
Mhm.
that's it. You're not even gonna have an open mind as to who they are or if they become something better. But yeah, people can change.
They can.
Yeah.
I just want to say this right here. If you in the Bible, they told Philip about Jesus, right? And that's what I love what you just said. People can change, and I love that because when they told Philip about Jesus, listen at the statement that Philip made. Philip said, "Can any good thing come out of Nazareth?" See, can any good thing come out of Nazareth? So now what I'm saying today, can any good thing come out of Fort Miles? Yes.
Yeah.
Sir.
A lot.
Look how he made the transformation.
Mm-hmm.
See, we have not been conformed. We've been transformed.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
We don't think like we used to think. We don't do the things we used to do.
used to do.
We don't hang out with the people we used to hang out with.
Mhm.
God have made a transfer, gave us a transfer. He ain't conformed us. He transformed us. You see what I'm saying?
Amen.
I could talk to you and love you at the same time.
Yeah.
Not talk to you and then soon as I leave, talk about you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
The love peoples, in spite of, they always like to go back to slavery. Okay, that's bygone.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, that's what they did, and we already know what type of world we living
World
in.
we're living.
Yeah.
So why be captured?
In that, yes. Yes. man.
Reparations.
Yes. man.
That's what they want.
Don't get me started.
Reparations.
Yes, man.
I didn't go through it, but
Because it's just that, like,
Reparations.
even bringing that, like, that's just the endless cycle of retribution.
yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You're just taking from those who've already gained from their ancestors and then giving it to someone
Mhm.
else. And then you still have that animosity
Yeah.
towards
Yes.
You're just changing hands.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
breeding even more animosity
Exactly.
with people that don't have anything to
To
do
do
with
with it.
Yeah.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? Well,
Oh my
like,
God.
That's wild. It's like the sins of the father,
Yeah.
you know?
Man.
Or now the sons of the son.
That's wild. That's wild.
That's wild.
That's wild.
That is
man.
good. Yeah.
Yes, it is. Man, I tell you.
I feel it. It's looking like it's about that time.
Well,
You got one more? You got a question for us today, Joe?
Yeah.
Oh, you.
I'm not even a brain fart. Okay, yeah, that's what I was going to say. So, what would you like to resonate with our audience or the people who are listening right now? Like, what message would you like to give them? Put it out in the ether, or just to
Something that motivates you, something that keeps your
Yeah,
energy going.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Words that you live by, a mantra, anything that.
What? Well, first of all, my life consists of Bible.
Yeah.
Okay, that's my foundation.
Yes.
It's Bible. But what keeps me going is that I don't like to be around negative energy.
Mm.
I like to be around positive energy.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
And I always tell people it's the people that you around that influence you to do what you do.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? If I want to be a millionaire, I'll be around millionaires. You see what I'm saying? If I want to be broke, I'll be around broke folks.
Yep.
That want to hang out on the street and do this and do that and run all day.
That's what
And then when the end of the day, you ain't got now a dime.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But if I hang around positive minded people that's surging positive energy, then it's gonna cause me to want to elevate.
Yes, sir.
It's gonna cause me to want to do more than where I'm at.
Do better,
Cause
do
see,
better.
a lot of time in ministry where I'm at, sometimes I go to prayer and I say, God, I ain't doing enough. I feel like I'm not doing enough. You see what I'm saying? And you don't want to overexert yourself. You see, so I'm the type of young man that if I push anything out there to anyone, amen, keep your head up. When people talk down on you, lift your head up.
Yes, sir.
You got to speak
Amen.
positive to yourself. See, just like David said, encourage yourself. Everybody's not going to encourage you. Everybody's not going to be happy because you're excelling. Everybody is
Yep.
not, amen,
Yep.
going to be that type of person say, go Scurry, go Scurry,
yeah,
go.
yeah.
You're going to do it.
You gonna
No,
do
no,
it.
when they
Fail,
start seeing
fail.
Scurry start excelling, they're going to start grabbing.
Yeah.
Oh, he think he all that.
think he better
See,
than
Scurry not thinking like that.
No.
You see what I'm saying? Scurry's saying that if I get to the mountaintop, I want to go down in the valley and pick my brother
I
and
can
my
bring-
sister up
yup,
and bring them up.
Bring them up with
Show
me.
them how to get to the
I
mountaintop.
know. Well,
You see what I'm saying? But I can't try to pull you to the mountaintop with me when I'm struggling to get up there.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
That's true.
So I want to push you positive. When you saying I can't make it, when you say, Scurry, I'm weak, I'm saying, no, you strong, brother. You see what I'm saying? When you say, Scurry, my self-esteem is low, no, brother. No, I want to build it up.
Yes.
When you say I'm fat, I'm ugly, and no, you beautiful. You fearfully and wonderfully made. I want to shoot positive energy to you that keeps trucking.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you stop, you're in trouble.
You're in trouble.
You is in trouble. I told him this. I said, when you get people that want to go somewhere, you might came up in the project, but you don't have to live in the project all your life.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
There you go.
You might have caught the street bus. I might be catching the street bus now, but baby, watch me a year or 2 years later, I'm going to have my own car.
Mm-hmm.
It might be smoking, it might have bald head tires, but I got my own car.
Like if
I ain't
point A
on-
to point B.
Amen.
Yeah.
I ain't on the street though. So you can sit
that's
back
true.
and laugh at me anyway.
Yeah.
But I'm that
No,
same
that's true.
road.
That's legit.
I'm going to ride right by you. Bump up. You need a ride?
You still driving the bus?
Amen. Amen.
That's because you push yourself to be
That's
better
right,
and be.
right.
Yeah.
I seen this lady in our community, and I'm gonna turn it back. I'm gonna leave it alone. I seen this lady in our community, and she really, I really admire her, and she really inspired me. I seen this lady on a bicycle. This lady go to church every Sunday on her bicycle, and I admire her. I don't care if it's raining. That lady got an umbrella,
Wow.
riding her bicycle
Wow.
to get to the house of God. And I said, wow. And I said, these jokers got cars, trucks,
And they don't show
and won't
up.
even go to the house of God.
Don't even-
Soon as it started raining, pouring down, oh, the rain weather
Oh,
bad.
it's
He go
bad,
lay on a
right.
bicycle with an umbrella, going to the house in the rain and everything.
Mhm.
I said, now you tell me, who God looking at? Is God looking at that man that put all that money in there? Or he looking at that man had one little mint and say, this is all I got. I'm going to put
Yeah.
it in the tank. I said, that's who God looking at.
Yes,
See, we got to forget about ourselves. And that's what I'm learning. I learned that. Scurry, don't worry about you. Worry about somebody else.
Somebody else.
You covered. You know where you at. You see what I'm saying? But help somebody else to get where you are. And that's how I see life, and that's how I push. To encourage people, not to discourage them. I want to encourage you. Every step of the way. Whatever you got going, I want to help push it. One thing about Scurry don't have to be highlighted. I don't have to be out front. When I go to churches, there go my wife. When I go to churches, I try to sit in the back because I know when they spot me, they're going to want me to preach or
They want
something.
to-
I'm here to relax.
You gotta lay-
I
you gotta lay
don't
down for
preach
the chair.
enough.
Right.
I'm here to sit back and relax and hear and get a word.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I heard my wife tell her sister that today. Said, we're going to come down and visit y'all on Saturday. Oh, y'all get ready to preach. My wife said, no, we not coming to preach. We coming to relax.
Let me live.
Yeah. Don't kill me. I won't let you kill me.
I'm trying to take a break. Oh, man.
Yes, sir.
Ain't
Oh,
no
man,
way.
Yes,
that's
sir.
what's up.
I'm telling
Ain't
you.
no way.
It's
That's
awesome.
awesome. How about you, Jashawn? You got any last words you want to resonate to our audience?
He basically summed it
He
all
summed
up.
it. Man.
Oh, there you go.
Summed
That'd be
it
good.
all
That's
up.
awesome.
I couldn't have said it better.
What?
I couldn't have said it better.
Yeah.
That's my speech teacher.
Yeah,
There you go, yeah.
there you go.
She said, I don't care how many degrees you got.
It's like I wrote it down on his hand so
Yeah.
I can remember.
She good.
Oh,
But,
man.
yeah.
She good.
Well, that's awesome. I appreciate you for, like I said again, taking the time to
Yeah,
come out.
absolutely. Thank you for coming by. Yeah.
And speaking
Thank
your
you.
word and resonating the messages to not just older people but young that listen to this. And I appreciate you guys for coming.
Yeah,
on.
I hope you guys can come back on.
Yes,
That way we catch
please.
up with
Please.
everything after they
Please.
see how
And
everything's
any
going on.
any new message you want to resonate with?
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
I
I mean,
said,
I'm on evaluate at any time. You
yeah.
know?
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Because one thing you got to keep up with me about, because I'll put something on top of something quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got you.
I
You know
bet.
what I'm
got
saying?
you.
So you got to let me know
Get
in
on the
advance.
schedule real
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah,
for sure.
you got to
For
put
sure,
me down
for
and
sure.
say,
Yeah.
well, we want Bishop Bike, such and such. You want Bishop Bike, such
And I usually get with Trishon, and she let
Yeah.
me. I let her know, and she gave me the date, and
Yeah.
she's like September 6th. I'm like, all right, let me get with him. And
He
then,
been
Yeah.
telling me for a month now. He has not let me forget.
yep.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, man.
but
Let me
again, I
forget.
really appreciate you guys for coming
I
on.
appreciate
Thank you so
y'all.
much.
Yeah.
Thank
Inviting
you,
us,
thank
man.
you.
Really.
Yes.
So,
Really.
All right, brother. Take us away.
Thank you for joining us at the tabletop. If you want to hear us on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we are on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Deezer, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Music. And if you want to look at our ugly mugs on Wednesdays and Fridays, we are on YouTube, one word, Tabletop Topics. And also check out our brand new Clips channel. We'll be uploading old and brand new episodes on there every single day.
And TikTok.
Oh yeah, and I keep forgetting to say
it's
TikTok.
new.
It's new. I gotta get used to that, guys. But you guys have a good day, evening, night, and or weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.